People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool Chapter 1. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool author, Happy Little Witch. Introduction, travel through the world of Naruto, activate the god-level forging system, and a super strong man has risen in the ninja world. One after another artifact appeared in the ninja world one after another. So the whole world is boiling. Grass pheasant sword, 10-fist sword, one-hit kill. Murasame. The beheading sword, the Zanpakuto, the flowing blade is like fire. D-solution. Red sand scorpion, my puppet is not worth mentioning in front of his ninja gear. For Raikage, what? He can slash through my Thunder Dun armor with a single knife. Madara Uchiha, I can't even beat his ninja gear. What kind of fourth ninja war is going on? Chapter 1 God-level forging system. Konoha 53 years. Fire Country, Konoha Village. The 6-year-old Tianyu is carefully reading the scroll of chakra extraction in front of him, constantly absorbing the knowledge in it. As a traveler, he naturally knows the danger of Naruto world. If you don't have enough strength, you will become a cannon fodder-like existence. Even though he is still young. However, all the free time should be spent on cultivation, and efforts should be made to improve the strength. The first step to becoming a ninja is to extract chakra. Time passed by minute by minute. Tianyu, who was in deep thought, was comprehending the extraction of chakra. At this moment, squeak sound. The door to his room was suddenly pushed open. A little loli with two ball-shaped heads stuck in half of her face and shouted in a milky voice. Brother, the meal is ready. Come and eat. Got it, Tian. Tianyu stopped what he was doing and said with a smile. Before him. This little loli with a bald head. It is the other companion of Niji and Lilok's group in the original book, Tian. Although she looks cute. But it has always been weak. Unexpectedly, in this life, he became her brother. That's right. He crossed into the world of Naruto, but he was not an orphan. Instead, he was born in a civilian family with living parents and a harmonious family, and a lovely little sister Tian. The family runs a weapons shop on the streets of Konoha village. As businessmen, my parents often go out of the village to buy. So the last few days. There are only him and Tian brother and sister at home. Cooking things. It fell to Tian who prefers cooking. Brother, quickly taste what I've made, is it delicious? Tian said with anticipation on his face. Tianyu, who had eaten instant noodles for a few days, saw 2 bowls of hot ramen on the table at this time, his eyes suddenly lit up, and he said in surprise. Ramen? Sister, you are amazing. Smelling the aroma of the ramen, Tianyu suddenly felt hungry. I'm starting. The sound of the 2 brothers and sisters sucking in the noodles kept ringing. After dinner, Tianyu went back to his room. Spread out the scroll of chakra extraction and continue to practice. Normally, if you practice ninjutsu while practicing and refining chakra, then the efficiency of refining chakra will be multiplied with half the effort. It's a pity that Tianyu's parents are both civilians. There are no ninjutsu scrolls or arcane scrolls in the family at all. Ninjutsu scroll. It is the most precious wealth of a family, even a village. Except for the road of ninja school. Many people from ordinary families have difficulty in learning ninjutsu in their lives, and they can't even extract chakra. Therefore, before the second generation of Naruto established the ninja school, almost all the ninjas in the village came from major families, and the commoners had no chance of becoming ninjas at all. Fortunately, this situation has now changed a lot. And Tianyu's family happens to be in the business of ninja tools. Although my father is not a ninja. But he is doing business outside, and he can often come into contact with some ninjas. Only then did he use some contacts to find a way to spend money to help him buy these scrolls about chakra refining. After reading all the contents in the scroll, Tianyu closed his eyes, ready to start extracting chakra. The so-called chakra is actually a name for energy in the Naruto world. Refining chakra is the process of absorbing body energy from the 130 trillion cells of the human body. An energy is divided into two kinds: physical energy, and spiritual energy. According to the method described in the scroll, Tian Yu extracted these two energies from the cells of the body, and then constantly tried to gather and combine. Finally, the first ray of chakra in his body appeared. The whole process takes less than 3 minutes. Very well. When Tian Yu was a little happy in his heart. In his mind, an electronic female voice sounded. Ding! Sensing chakra, congratulations to the host for successfully activating the God-level forging system. The system panel opens. A translucent virtual panel appeared in front of him. Host, Tian Yu. Age, 6 years old. Forging level, beginner. Unlocked weapons, none. Self-created weapon, none. God-level forging system. After Tian Yu was slightly surprised. He quickly calmed down and thought. Is this a system that helps you build weapons? No, since it is a system that needs to be activated by sensing chakra, perhaps the forged things are not just ordinary weapons, but may even be artifacts such as banana fans and 6 tin sticks. Tian Yu's eyes lit up instantly. Curious about the capabilities of the system. At this time, the sound of the system sounded again. Ding! Mission release, crude iron, 100G. System reward, primary forging blueprint, avatar kunai. So simple. Only need 100 grams of crude iron to complete the task. After a little hesitation, Tian Yu quickly figured it out. It may be because the system has just been activated, so the task of publishing is relatively simple. Crude iron, one of the most common ore materials. Commonly used weapons such as kunai and shuriken, the main material before forging is crude iron. Tian Yu's family originally opened a weapons shop. There are a lot of idle rough iron in the yard. He just took a chunk of thick iron the size of a fist, and it was enough to complete the task. Ding! Mission completed. System reward, elementary forging blueprint, avatar kunwu has been issued. A lot of information flooded into Tian Yu's mind. He immediately obtained the forging method of the avatar kunai. Clone kujui. Forging difficulty *. Skill, instantly release the clone technique to form a material clone. What a magical forging technique. After deepening his understanding of blacksmithing, Tian Yu couldn't help but said with emotion. I can't wait in my heart, I want to start trying to create this kind of clone kunai immediately. It happens that there is a small forge in the backyard, I can go there and try it. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 2. Although it was getting late. But the excited Tian Yu was full of energy. Immediately ran to the small shed that could be forged in the backyard. Light the charcoal fire, pull up the bellows, put the thick iron, swing the hammer, and start forging. Clang! 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 The crisp knocking sound came at once. The sparks splattered and splattered aside. At only 6 years old, he needs all his strength to swing this hammer. After a few beatings, the strength is exhausted. After resting for a while, he regained some strength and turned the hammer again. Repeat this several times. Sweat dripped down. On the anvil, the shape of kunai gradually took shape. After 3 hours, Tian Yu looked at the kunai standing in front of him, with black light shining all over his body, with uncontrollable joy in his eyes. Doppelganger kunwu, he created it. Chapter 2 Clone kunai. The creation of the avatar kunai is completed. Tian Yu immediately put this root of bitterness in his hand and observed it carefully. After all, it was the ninja tool he created for the first time, and the craftsmanship can only be regarded as rough. In terms of quality and quality, there is absolutely no way to compare with the kunai imported from the Iron Country sold in his weapon shop. However, the function of this root of suffering is no different from ordinary suffering. In his mind, at the moment when the creation was completed, he got the information about the use of this root of kunai. Clone kunai, injecting chakra can instantly form a material clone, and the material clone can attack and defend. The avatar created by kunai. Unlike ordinary clones, The clone technique in the basic three-body technique is to create an illusion that is exactly the same as the main body by refining chakra. But what was made was just a phantom. In addition to interfering with the enemy's judgment, it basically has no effect. The physical avatar is different from the phantom avatar. The material avatars are generally condensed by the avatars of the escape technique, and there are physical substances, such as water avatars, soil avatars, and crow avatars. The amount of chakra required to create a material clone is very small, and the experience body obtained after the clone is released cannot be obtained, so the material clone can also be understood as a lifelike puppet controlled by the body consciousness. This kind of ninjutsu is very practical in battle. Tianyu injected his own chakra into kunai. Then project this root of suffering forward. As predicted. 2 meters in front of him. There was a clone that looked exactly like him. That's a good thing. Tianyu's eyes lit up. The moment he understood the powerlessness of the clone, he immediately thought of a lot of things. The weapons he forged. But it is comparable to the existence of ninjutsu. You only need to inject chakra, you can use the clone kunai to achieve the general effect of the evasion technique. And compared to escaping ninjutsu, he can use kunai without even needing a knot, and he can do it instantly. Used in actual combat, you can take an infinite advantage. This is definitely a huge breakthrough. With this effect, every weapon he makes will be extraordinary. Tianyu opened his system properties panel again. There have been some changes in there. Data are as follows. Host, Tianyu. Age, 6 years old. Forging level, beginner. Unlocked weapon, separation kunwu, 7%. Self-created weapon, none. 7%. What does it mean? Could it be that the doppelganger has not been fully unlocked yet? The system seemed to sense the question in Tianyu's heart, so he immediately gave him the answer. The host's proficiency in creating a clone kunai is only 7%. The probability and speed of successful weapon creation will increase with the increase of proficiency. After listening to the explanation of the system, Tianyu's heart suddenly understood. It turned out that even if I obtained the blueprint of the avatar kunai, the success rate of making weapons by yourself is not 100%, but is linked to proficiency. In this way, I forged for the first time just now. I have successfully created a clone of kunwu, which is indeed a good luck. After one success, now Tianyu is full of energy in his heart. Continue to start forging. Tianyu's eyes shone brightly. He picked up another piece of thick iron, put it on the anvil, and began to swing the hammer again. Clang! 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 The whirring sound of the bellows sounded regularly, the flames jumped in the carbon furnace. The thick iron lump, which had been burned red, made a crisp sound when struck by the hammer. A weapon of kunai shape. Under the continuous forging of Tianyu, it gradually took shape. But he didn't succeed every time he forged. If the forging fails, the forged kunai will not have the effect of producing a material clone, and its use is no different from the ordinary kunai. Ding! Forging failed, forging result, ordinary kunai. Ding! Forging failed, forging result, ordinary kunai. Ding! Forging success. Forging fruit, avatar kunwu *1. Ding! Forging failed, forging result, ordinary kunai. The night passed quietly. As the night faded away, the sky in the distance was white with fish belly. Call. Early in the morning, Tianyu finally ended the forging practice that lasted for several hours. The arms that were used to wield a hammer were already sore and weak, and it was difficult to even raise them. Even after repeated exhaustion of physical strength, recovery, consumption, recovery, at this time he has reached the limit of physical strength that his body can withstand. Slowly let out a sigh of relief. Tianyu looked at the 3 sticks lying quietly in his hands, the black kunai glowing with a cold black light, and his eyes showed a bit of satisfaction. One night, he created a total of 3 doppelgangers. Moreover, the proficiency of forging the clone kunai has also increased from the original 7% to 25%. It's a great harvest. After he had collected these 3 kunai, I finally left the forging room with satisfaction. At this time, Tianyu noticed that the clothes on his body exuded bursts of sweat. Forging this night. For Tianyu, who is only 6 years old, it can be regarded as a very difficult practice process. If you want to successfully create a kunai, it is not as simple as picking up a hammer and hitting a rough iron billet. While he was forging rough iron, you also need to continuously input your chakra into it. So in this forging process, whether it is physical strength or chakra, the consumption of Tianyu is very huge. After forging for several hours, my physical strength was exhausted many times, my clothes were also wet with sweat several times, and the smell was normal. Tianyu dragged her exhausted body and went to the bathroom to rinse off. Only then did he finally relax, his whole body collapsed on the bed, and he fell into a deep sleep the moment he closed his eyes. When Tianyu wakes up again. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 3. It's already noon. I left him a few rice for lunch every day, and then went to the ninja shop to help look after the shop. Tianyu was the only one left at home. Tianyu quickly finished the rice ball and filled his stomach. He just rushed into the forging shed and started to continue his forging practice. In a blink of an eye, 3 days have passed. For Tianyu, the process of forging. Not just to create kunai. In the process of creating the kunai, it is also a kind of exercise for his physical muscle strength. Now, he feels that his body has become stronger. What surprised Tianyu even more was that he also became more and more proficient in absorbing chakra from his body, and the amount of chakra he absorbed was also a little more than before. This refines the exercise effect of chakra. Compared with the secret techniques of the ninja clan in the village, it is much stronger. It can be said that after this forging practice, his starting point on the road of ninja is no lower than anyone else. Chapter 3 Forging Practice. Ding. Task Post, Clay, 1000 G. System Reward, Primary Forging Blueprint, Substitute Kunai. On the 4th day of Tianyu's forging avatar kunai. Suddenly, the sound of the system releasing the task came from his mind. Substitute suffering. Tianyu guessed in his heart. It is estimated that this kind of kunai should be used in the same way as the clone kunai, and it can exert an effect similar to the substitute technique. This task is also very simple. Clay is naturally found everywhere. Tianyu soon dug up a small pile of dark brown clay in the backyard garden. Ding! Mission completed. System reward, Elementary Forging Blueprints, Substitute Kunwu has been issued. In Tianyu's mind, another way of creating kunai immediately appeared. Substitute Kunwu. Forging difficulty asterisk. Skill, instant release substitution technique. The process of creating is somewhat similar to the avatar. With his current understanding of the avatar Kowu forging, the avatar Kowu forging is also a lot easier. After understanding the structure of avatar kunai, he immediately started trying to forge. However, this time he didn't seem to have the same luck as last time. The first stand-in kunai, failed. The second root of kunai, failure. The third root of kunai, success. In the third forging attempt, he finally succeeded. In Tianyu's mind. Immediately more information on the use of the stand-in kunai. Substitute kunai, after injecting chakra into kunai, you can swap kunai with your own position to avoid attacks. Tianyu nodded secretly in his heart. Sure enough, as he had guessed before. The effect of the substitute kunai is the same as that of the substitute technique. The stand-in technique in the basic ninjutsu 3-body technique. It can be regarded as the most practical kind of ninjutsu in combat. It is widely used in ninja battles at the level of genin and chunin, and is one of the most commonly used basic ninjutsu. And the dukkha of avatar is the same as dukkha. Just inject your own chakra into the substitute kunai, and you can release it instantly without the need for a seal. It seems that this kind of stand-in is hard to come by, and I have to build a few more. Tianyu's heart was suddenly full of energy, and he began to forge. Clang! 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 The percussion of the metal in the forging shed resounded in bursts. In the blink of an eye, another 5 days passed. Jianyu looked at the 15 clone kunai and 10 double kunai that had been successfully created in front of him, and was very satisfied with these results. Build proficiency in Avatar kunai and Avatar kunai. It also rose to 77% and 45%, respectively. Ding! Mission release, Fine Sand, 1000 G. System reward, Primary Forging Blueprint, transform into kunai. The sound of the system came to my ears again. The tasks released by the system this time are also very simple. Tianyu quickly submitted the task and received the task reward, turning into a blueprint for the forging of kunai. In this way, he has gathered all 3 kinds of ninja tools that can achieve the effect of the 3-body technique. Another 10 days passed quietly. Apart from eating and sleeping. For the rest of the time, Tianyu plunged into the forging shed and forged cool like a sleepless night. Although forging is a very boring and tedious practice. But Tianyu didn't have any complaints. Instead, take this as a kind of exercise for your own body. The effect of this exercise. Of course, it's also very obvious. Physical strength and chakra are repeatedly consumed and recovered. In just half a month. Tianyu felt that his muscle strength had increased a lot. Chakra recovery speed has also become faster. Tianyu secretly estimated in his heart. If in actual combat, the power of the fist, combined with the use of the 3 kunai, it should have been comparable to the ninja of ordinary ninja strength. Of course, in the past half a month, the ninjas produced are also quite fruitful. 30 double kunai, 20 double kunai, and 15 transformed kunai. At the same time, his proficiency in creating clone kunai, avatar kunai, and transformation kunai also reached 100%, 85% and 55% respectively. He now has the success rate of forging the avatar kunai. After reaching 100%, there will be no more defective products in the forging process. Moreover, he also found that he creates the speed of kunai. It also speeds up as proficiency increases. At the beginning, he made a kunai, which took 3 hours. Now, he only needs half an hour to complete it. At this time, his system panel data has been transformed as follows. Host, Tianyu. Age, 6 years old. Forging level, beginner. Unlocked weapons, Avatar kunai, 100%, Avatar kunai, 85% and Transformation kunai, 55%. Self-created weapon, none. This day. After Tianyu finished his practice, he had dinner with Tian. After dinner, Tianyu was in no hurry to leave. He asked Tian, sister, I taught you how to extract chakra before, how are you doing? Tian stuck out his tongue and sighed helplessly. Brother, that method is so difficult. I have been practicing for more than 10 days, and I can only extract a little chakra occasionally, and it is not very stable. Tianyu nodded, not surprised. He patted her on the shoulder and comforted, don't worry, if you can sense chakra, it's already a beginner, just practice slowly after that. Tian's talent in ninjutsu practice is not outstanding. However, as her elder brother, he will try his best to help his younger sister improve her strength. Refine chakra. It's not easy for a 6-year-old child. In the ninja school, the main courses of the students in the first 2 years are almost all training to refine chakra. Tian's current practice speed is also very good in Tianyu's eyes. Tianyu took out 3 avatars of kunai and handed them to Tian. Give you something to play with. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 4. It's a reward for her hard work cooking and helping him with laundry. What is this? Tian asked dumbly. Inject your own chakra into this root of kunai, and then throw the kunai out and try it out. Question mark. Tian tilted his head. In the big round eyes, with a bit of doubt. But she still followed her brother's instructions obediently. Refine chakra. Infused with kunai. Throw it in front of you. Sudden. Bang, sounded. The root of kunai was in the air, turned into a cloud of white smoke. The white smoke dissipated, and a little loli who was exactly the same as Tian appeared in front of her. It's a clone technique. Tian exclaimed, covering his mouth with his hands. There was an unconcealed look of surprise in his eyes. How is this going? Is this the avatar technique you cast yourself? But, you still don't know how to seal the seal, and don't know how to use the clone technique? This is a special kunai that I created in the past 2 days, and it can exert the same effect as the clone technique. Tian patted Tian's shoulder and said with a smile. With this kind of ninja gear, after entering the ninja school, our strength will never be weaker than those of the great ninja. Wow! After listening to my brother's explanation, Tian's eyes lit up immediately. Eyes shining like stars. Looking at the eyes of Tianyu, worship is extremely. Brother, you are really amazing. Then you should practice hard during this time. Although he built a total of 3 kinds of ninja tools, he did not give all 3 kinds of ninja tools to Tian at once. The control of chakra every day is far inferior to him. So Tianyu decided. First, only give her this kind of avatar kunai and let her concentrate on practicing. After she has practiced the avatar kunai to the point of mastery, teach her other kinds of kunai. Chapter 4 Ninja School. Early morning. After washing up and having breakfast, Tianyu, standing in front of the mirror, tidying up. He didn't wear the plain jacket he usually wears when he was forging. Instead, he put on a new dress with wide sleeves and a robe with a cross collar and a palace sash tied around his waist. His long black hair was high, and the whole person was quite a bit of a knight in the rivers and lakes. In the mirror, he is slender, with sword eyebrows and star eyes. Even more so, the whole person is very heroic. And his sister Tian also wore a pink cheongsam skirt that was improved and more suitable for her physical training. On his head, he held up 2 ball-shaped buns with the same panda ears, which looked very charming. Go out. After Tianyu and Tian packed up their things, they went out together. Today. It's the opening day of ninja school. At the gate of the ninja school, many children and parents have gathered. They are all lined up at the gate of the ninja school, waiting to be tested by ninjas one by one to see if they have the talent to become ninjas. The content of the test is not difficult. It's probably just a physical test. And whether it has the potential to extract chakra. Tianyu glanced at the crowd around him. Because it's not the same session with Naruto in the original book. So Tianyu glanced around the crowd, but didn't see any familiar figures. I just saw some people with symbols such as the Uchiha clan, Sarutobi clan, and Inazuka clan on their clothes. Tianyu secretly guessed in his heart. If nothing else, I should have met Niji Hyuga and Lockley, 2 characters who belonged to the 12 Xiaoqiang in the original work. Soon. It was his turn and Tian to take the entrance test. This was not a problem for their siblings, they both passed the exam soon and were assigned to the same class. When they walked into the assigned classroom, immediately attracted the attention of some people in the class. Wow, that guy looks a little handsome. What's the use of being handsome, he doesn't look like someone from a ninja family, he doesn't have a future. That's right. In this year, as expected, young Master Ningxi from the Rishiang family is the chief student. Not only is he handsome, but his strength is also first class. Hear the whispering voices. Tian asked Tianyu curiously, brother, who is Niji in their mouths? Is his strength stronger than your brother? Hyuga Ningji, the young master of the Hyuga clan, the son of the current patriarch's younger brother. Tianyu briefly explained a few words, then smiled faintly, as for strength. I don't know for now, but I think I should be stronger than him. I also think my brother is the most powerful. Tian smiled sweetly. When Tianyu and Tian were chatting, a thick-browed child with a watermelon rind on his head walked up to them. Can I sit in this seat next to you? Yes. Tianyu nodded. He quickly recognized the person in front of him as the real hot-blooded boy in the original book, Li Lok. Hey, Hello, my name is Li Luo. Are you two also civilian ninjas? Me, can I be friends with you? Li Luo blushed and said stutteringly, looking like very nervous. Okay. Tianyu smiled, nodded and said, my name is Tianyu. My name is Tian, and it's his sister. Tian also introduced himself with a hearty smile, my brother's friend is my friend. Thank you, thank you. Li Luo shouted loudly, looking very excited. The expression on his face full of gratitude surprised Tian. It's not so, just be a friend. At this time, the originally noisy classroom suddenly became quiet. It seems that everyone's eyes are focused on Lilac. The laughing voices came from far away. Wow, does anyone really want to be friends with that idiot Lilac? What if he was lucky enough to extract chakra? He doesn't think he can really become a ninja, right? That's right, but they're just a bunch of pariahs, and they also want to become ninjas. Oh, it's ridiculous. You are too much. Tian couldn't hold back his temper, he stood up from his seat as soon as he patted the table. His eyes widened, his face flushed red. No wonder Lilac was so moved when he heard that they were willing to be friends with him just now. Just because Li Luo was born in a commoner family, should he be bullied and ridiculed like this? The few people who laughed at Lilac just now were startled by the menacing Tian. However, he quickly realized that the other party was just a little girl from a civilian background. He had no background at all. What was there to fear? Why, are you not convinced that you are untouchables? You are not convinced to fight? Let you see what a real ninja is. The few people sneered even more. Tian, forget it, don't argue with them, they have all received ninja training in the family, we can't beat them. Lilac sighed. At this time. Swish. A figure flashed in front of Lilac's eyes. Tianyu. Lilac was dumbfounded in an instant. Hey. Wait a minute, Tianyu Jun. Didn't I just say that they had a great fight? And the next second. Lilac was completely dumbfounded. I saw Tianyu walking in front of those people at a very fast speed. Before everyone could react, he raised his fist. Boom! 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 The three of them were kicked out in an instant. Just this strength? It's just trash. Tianyu smiled disdainfully. At this moment, the entire classroom was silent. Everyone's eyes were focused on Tianyu, who had been silent just now, swallowing a mouthful of saliva in his throat. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 5. He didn't say anything, just shot and beat people. He even beat up all three of them. This guy called Tianyu is a ruthless man. You sneak attack. One of the boys of the Inuzuka clan. Covering half of his swollen face with his hands, he shouted towards Tianyu in dissatisfaction. That's because your reaction speed is too slow. Tianyu smiled lightly, as if it wasn't him who hit someone just now. Stinky boy, how dare you hit us? Brothers, let's go together with the three of us, and teach this boy a good lesson. The people who were beaten up reacted, and they got furious and got up from the ground, as if tigers descended the mountain and rushed towards Tianyu from different directions. Seeing the three of them rushing towards him, Tianyu didn't have any panic in his heart, and he didn't even use the kuwu in his ninja kit. It's just a fight between children who have just entered school, and there is no technical content. Simply put, fists are power. Although these three boys have received physical training in the family, how can their strength be compared with Tianyu, who swings the hammer every day? Tianyu watched the person closest to him rushing towards him with a fist. Instead of retreating, he stepped forward and took a step forward to meet that person. At this step, Tianyu just stepped beside the man. At the same time, he drew his left hand and his right hand, and instantly grabbed the arm that he threw his fist. Like a sandbag, he swung him up in the direction of the attack, and after half a circle in the air, he threw it out in the direction of the other two. Boom! A loud noise. The three flew out in unison and hit the wall in the distance. Chapter 5 Lilac's Touch. With a thunder-like wrist, Tianyu In the blink of an eye, the three little devils were all beaten to the ground. This scene shocked all the students in the classroom. Even Niji Hyuga, who was known as the chief student of this class, could not help but look at Tianyu a few more times in surprise, and then gradually retracted his scrutiny. And after solving those troubles, Tianyu went straight back to his seat and sat down. Everything was as usual. It was as if he had beaten those people down just now, which was just a trivial matter. And in fact, for Tianyu, it's really just a trivial thing. What about being born in a great ninja? If your own strength is not good, you will only be beaten to the ground. Heaven, Big Brother Tianyu is too powerful. Shaoli looked at Tianyu with admiration in his eyes. Also from a commoner family. Tianyu is much stronger than him. That's right, of course my brother is amazing. Tian nodded proudly. I've decided. From now on, Big Brother Tianyu will be my idol. I must become as strong as Big Brother Tianyu. Lilock shouted with excitement on his face as he clenched his fists. And this time, no one in the classroom dared to laugh at Lilock anymore. The strength of Tianyu. Everyone can see it. At this time, in Tianyu's mind, the sound of the system releasing the task came again. Ding! Mission release, complete shuriken projection training, 100 shots. System reward, elementary Na ring forging blueprint. This time, the difficulty of the system tasks is a little more complicated than the first three. It is necessary for Tianyu to reach the level of the shuriken's projection target, in order to complete the task. Shuriken projection is also a very important course during the ninja school period. In the 6th year of the ninja school, the average student will practice the shuriken throwing technique to the level of 100% hits. And for Tianyu, although the tasks promulgated by the system have no time limit, but he wouldn't really just follow the training speed of the ninja school and practice shuriken. The quest reward this time is Neji. This is very important to Tianyu. There are more than 60 roots of the 3 kinds of kunai he created some time ago. In an ordinary ninja bag, at most a dozen kunai can be put down. Tianyu can't walk around with a big school bag and a ninja gear. And the ring. Just to solve his current problem. A portable space that can be worn on the body, but greatly solves the problem of carrying his ninja gear and hiding secret ninja gear. Therefore, he must complete this task as soon as possible. The 3 kinds of suffering are sufficient for the time being. So during this period of time, let's put aside the matter of forging Kowu. Put all your time and energy into practicing shuriken and complete the task as soon as possible. When school is over, Tianyu and Tian walked out of the school together. Brother, isn't that the way to go home? Well, I'm going to the training ground to practice shuriken. Are you going home or follow me? He, there's no one at home, of course I'll go wherever my brother goes. Tian smiled sweetly. Tianyu nodded, just right, you can practice with me. 2 people soon went to the training ground together. Soon, though, the 2 run into some trouble. The training ground is full. Tianyu and the others did not apply for the use of the training ground in advance, and now they are told that there is no free training ground here. Both of them were a little disappointed. It seems that there is no way to train here today. Just as the 2 were about to leave, suddenly a familiar person stopped them both. Tianyu, Tian, did you 2 come to the training ground for training? Lilock greeted the 2 of them excitedly. Yes, but the training ground is full. Tian sighed. You can share a training ground with me. The training ground I applied for is quite big, and it is enough for 3 people to practice. Lilock warmly invited. Really? That's great. Tian's eyes lit up. Thank you very much then. Tianyu smiled, not being polite to him. Then he took Tian to his training ground together. After entering the training ground, after Tianyu set the target, he took out his shuriken and began to practice shuriken throwing. Tian also learned the appearance of Tianyu, and followed him to practice. Tianyu-jun looks so professional. It already looks like a real ninja. Li Lok couldn't help sighing in his heart. Xiao Li came from an ordinary family. The price of ninja tools is not so easy to bear, let alone ninjutsu scrolls. So now Xiao Li doesn't know anything about physical training, ninjutsu, and the use of ninja tools. Although he works very hard, he can only do some simple exercises to enhance his physical fitness, such as skipping rope and push-ups. Do you want to try? Tian handed the shuriken in his hand to Xiao Li. No, no need. Xiao Li waved his hand, shook his head and refused. I'll still practice my fists. Today, Yujun Tian is cleaning up those fists in the classroom, but he is very handsome. Although Xiao Li said so. But he looked at the shuriken in Tiantian's hand with some envy. As expected of a ninja shop at home. You can take out so many shuriken at your fingertips. Xiao Li looked to the other side, Tian Yujun, who was concentrating on practicing shuriken. The number of shuriken he used. Is it more than 20? Together these shurikens cost thousands of taels, right? Such price. His family can't afford it. After 3 hours. The setting sun is like blood, dyeing half of the sky red. The sun went down and the sky gradually darkened. Until the sight is affected, Tian Yu's eyesight can no longer see the target in the distance. He finally stopped practicing. Cultivation is not just about enduring hardships, but also pay attention to methods. If he can't even lock the target of the throw, then it's pointless to continue to throw more, and the shuriken skills will not improve. Then it is better to stop cultivating, combine work and rest. Digest and absorb the results of today's practice in your mind. Before leaving the training ground, Tian Yu handed his ninja kit to Xiao Li. Tian Yujun, who are you? This ninja kit is for you. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 6. No, it's too expensive. Aren't we friends? You lend us a training ground, and I'll give you a small gift. Tian Yu said with a hearty smile, my family runs a weapons shop, and this ninja tool is not a big deal for us. What? Tian also nodded, yes, just accept it. I would like to thank you today. Thank you. Li Lok, who accepted the ninja kit. Tears welled up in my eyes, and I was very moved. So this is a friend? That is really good. I finally have friends. Chapter 6 Matt K. A month passed quietly. After school every day, Tian Yu will take Tian to Konoha's training ground to train with Li Luo in physical art and shuriken. And this month, Tian Yu's strength has also grown very rapidly, and the hit rate of kunai in his hand is also getting higher and higher. He is very satisfied with the progress of his cultivation during this period. It's estimated to be another week. He is enough to practice the lily sword to hit 100 shots. And this time, by his ears, the sound of the system releasing the task came again. Ding! Mission release, sell any kuna, clone kuna, substitute kuna, transformed kuna, and the price must not be less than 1,000 taels. System reward, primary grass S sword blueprint. Posting another mission. I haven't finished my last mission yet. After posting this task, the previous task will disappear automatically, right? Tian Yu's heart suddenly tightened. The role of the storage space of the ring is very important to him now. Tian Yu quickly opened his system panel. Then he saw the last unfinished task. It also showed, to be completed, in the system tray, and he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the system issues a new task. The tasks that were not completed before are still there and will not disappear directly. Tian Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Only then did I start to carefully examine the newly released tasks of this system. Immediately, he frowned. Sell your own ninja tools. Tian Yuka had never had the idea of selling ninja tools before. On the one hand, his family is not short of money at all. On the other hand, exposing these ninja tools prematurely would cause him a lot of unnecessary trouble. He is vigilant. Except for my sister Tian. Even if Li Lok, who is a good friend with him. Tian Yu has never shown the ninja tools he built in front of him. So he is very urgent. Want to get the blueprint for the creation of the ring. In this way, he can hide all the ninja tools he has built. But now to accomplish this task. It seems that I still have to find a suitable opportunity to find someone to sell a kunai. Grass pheasant sword. So attractive to him. That can be regarded as the second-class artifact in this world. However, this cannot be rushed. Let's put this system task aside for now and wait for the opportunity. It is imperative that you continue to practice your shuriken. Finally. 1 week later. In Konoha's training ground. Tianyu threw out 6 kunai with both hands at the same time. Shooting towards targets in 6 different directions. Brush brush. Brush brush. All in. Tian shouted in surprise, brother is really amazing. Tianyu's mouth. He also showed a satisfied smile. After a month of training. Now, he finally did it. Ding. Mission completed. System reward, the blueprint for the forging of the primary ring has been distributed. Tianyu's progress is so fast. Li Luo looked at Tianyu, whose shuriken skills were improving every day, with a bit of envy in his eyes. At the same time, he also received a lot of encouragement in his heart. In dark eyes. Immediately, a strong fire of fighting spirit ignited. He clenched his fists, jumped up from the ground, and shouted loudly. Yo Shi! It seems that I have to work even harder. Tian Yujun is so talented and works so hard, I can't let go. I'm going to double my training today. 1,000 jump ropes. If I can't do it, I'll do 2,000 prone. Clap clap clap. There was a sudden applause from all around. At the same time, a very thick male voice came from a distance. Yo! Not bad, boy. Struggle. Work hard. This is youth. Li Lok was stunned, and then shouted. Who is it? At this time, a gust of wind rolled up and swept past Li Lok. Wearing a set of green sportswear, with a watermelon peel on his head, an adult man with thick eyebrows like Shaoli appeared beside Li Lok. Tian Yu and Tian, who were practicing shuriken on the side, also stopped their movements and looked over after hearing the sound. Tian Yu recognized the person in front of him at a glance. It is in the original. Mate Kai, known as the Blue Beast. Haha, boy, you're full of energy. Mate Kai laughed heartily, stretched out his hand and patted Li Lok on the shoulder, with a look of admiration in his eyes. As long as you keep working hard, you will become a powerful ninja one day. Li Lok was extremely surprised, really, really. Mate Kai nodded, of course it's true. Boy, let's start practicing together. Well, let's be together. Li Lok was full of blood. At this moment, a lukewarm word came in. Senior, if you want to take advantage of the training ground, just say it. It's not good to lie to the junior like this, right? Tian Yu did not know when, had already come over. He put his hands around his chest and said with a leisurely look. Ah. Tian Yu, what are you talking about? Li Luo was confused. Mate Kai, who was ruthlessly exposed by Tianyu. He is also very bad at lying. At this moment, his face flushed and he was in a very embarrassing situation. He scratched his head and said. Ha, aha, this is it. The training ground is full today, I think your training ground is quite big. Oh, it turns out that there is no spare training ground. Li Luo did not take this matter to heart, and nodded carelessly. Oh, since senior needs a training ground, we can. And many more. Tian Yu interrupted Li Lok's words. After taking a look at this silly boy with no heart. Turning his head to look at Mate Kai, he said with a smile. We can give up part of the training ground to the seniors, but in exchange, how about you take us to practice together? Matakai's strength is very powerful. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 7. Not to mention the man who opened the door to death, the man who almost kicked out the finale. Even if he has only opened 6 gates. Jingman, he can use such terrifying physical techniques as facing the peacock. It generates flames with high-speed positive punches and air friction, and uses the shock waves and flames generated by hitting the air to inflict continuous blows on the opponent. In the entire ninja world, someone who can withstand such an attack as him. You can count them all on one hand. Tian Yu is also quite envious of Beiman Duanjia, a powerful physical technique classified as S-rank ninjutsu. During this period of shuriken practice, he discovered a truth. On the road of my future cultivation, in addition to controlling more powerful weapons, I must not neglect the cultivation of physical fitness and physical skills. Only the strength of one's own physical fitness. Unleash the full power of the weapon in your hand. Chapter 7 2-Star Weapons. Of course it's fine. Matt K put his hands on his hips. Showing his big white teeth, he smiled brightly. Youngsters, follow me to train. That's how youth never ends. After shouting, Mate Kai stretched his finger to the distance and issued a training task. Now, the three of you. In 2 hours, run around the entire Konoha and get back here. Yes. The three voices in unison sounded at the same time. Then Tian Yu, Tian, and Li Luo formed a team and began to run towards the distance. As a girl's day. No complaints or laziness. Her dream is to become a powerful ninja like Tsunade Haim. I will never lower my demands on myself just because I am a girl, what? Looking at the backs of the three people running into the distance. In the end, Matakai's eyes locked on Tian Yu's body. His pupils shrank slightly, and with a bit of shock, he said to himself. Have the boy named Tian Yu and his sister have already extracted chakra? And the amount of chakra of Tian Yu is really incredible. Is it enough to compare with Genin? Look at him, he's just a kid who just entered the ninja school. This kid, maybe he's a genius. 2 hours later. Tian Yu, the three of them, finally finished running around Konoha. Tian Yu was the first to reach the finish line, and it took only 1 hour and 30 minutes. The second Li Lok, who reached the finish line, took 1 hour and 47 minutes. The last person to arrive is Tian, who is weak in physical strength. It took 1 hour and 58 minutes to complete the task within the specified time. Well done, boys. Mekkai bared his white teeth and smiled brightly. Thumbs up towards the three, with a bit of admiration in his eyes. Just come here for your training today. It's still this time tomorrow. The three of you continue to come and practice with me. Yes. Senior. Night. Back home, Tian Yu. I didn't even eat dinner, so I went straight into the forging room. Brother has started forging again, Tian secretly complained, his love for forging is too crazy. In the forge. In front of Tian Yu, there are 4 different minerals. Fire stone, moonstone, dark iron, saltpeter. These are the mineral materials needed to make the primary Na ring. In Tian Yu's mind, the entire process of creating the primary ring appeared again. Primary Na ring. Forging difficulty ***. Required materials, fire stone, moonstone, dark iron, saltpeter. Skill, creates a 1 cubic meter space that can store inanimate objects. It is worthy of being a 2-star difficulty beginner ring. Whether it is the amount of forging material that needs to be consumed, or the complexity of the forging steps, it is completely different from 1-star ninja tools like the clone kunai. Tian Yu closed his eyes. I went through the building process again in my mind. After making sure that he had memorized all the details in his heart, and that he would not make any mistakes, he slowly opened his eyes. Start building. Tian Yu's eyes lit up. Focus all your attention on the anvil in front of you. Put on the black iron, and when the black iron is roasted by the scorching high temperature, the whole body turns red. Tian Yu mobilized the strength of his body and waved the hammer in his hand. When the hammer collided with the iron lump. With a crisp sound. In Tian Yu's eyes. Suddenly more surprised. Because he was pleasantly surprised to find that the strength that he needs to use to turn the hammer this time has become smaller than before. The last time he forged, he beat about 30 times, which would consume all his strength and chakra. And now, he even has the confidence to knock 50 times in a row. Is it because of physical training during this time? It seems that his previous thoughts are indeed correct. Whether it is forging ninja tools or physical training, they are complementary to each other for their own strength growth, and they are indispensable. In this case, Tian Yu's idea of following Mate Kai to learn physical skills became more and more firm. If you can really learn the 8 swords of Duanjia, coupled with your own unique ninja equipment, your strength will definitely not be inferior to others. As the forging process continues, Tian Yu felt more and more deeply that the forging of the 2-star blueprint was complicated. Time goes by minute by minute. Tian Yu must concentrate all his attention. Control the strength and angle of each strike of the ore, and at the same time inject your own chakra into it. Soon there was sweat on his forehead. Sweat dripped down his cheeks, and his clothes were already soaked repeatedly. Even so, Tian Yu still did not show any slack. It is also thanks to the physical training during this period that his physical and mental strength have made great progress. If Tian Yu was a month ago, based on his physical and mental strength at the time, he probably couldn't complete a forging in a row at all. After 8 hours. It's done. A cry of surprise. Tian Yu's eyes were full of red blood, and there was an unstoppable frenzy in his eyes, and the whole person fell into a huge joy. He watched as he lay quietly in his hands. This very simple white and silver ring is like a treasure. This is the primary Na ring that he finally successfully created after spending a full 8 hours. He even succeeded in making it once. The detailed usage information of the primary Na ring also appeared in his mind. Primary Na ring. Rank, 2-star weapon. Attribute, spatial attribute. Function, with 1 cubic meter of storage space, it can store all non-living objects. Weather contract, no. At the same time, a system prompt sounded in his ear. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully creating a 2-star space attribute primary ring. The system rewards the host with a space attribute comprehension +1. Is there such a reward? Tian Yu's eyes lit up, and he couldn't help but be ecstatic. It seems that in addition to teaching itself to forge various weapons, this system can actually enhance its own attributes by forging weapons. Tian Yu closed his eyes and felt it. Sure enough, I found that my sensitivity to the existence of the surrounding space has increased by 1 point. Although this change is still very weak, it has always increased his understanding of space attributes. This time, I created a 2-star space attribute ring, and the increased comprehension is the space attribute. If my comprehension of space attributes continues to increase, and coupled with my own special kunai, can I still be able to perform ninjutsu at the level of Flying Thunder God? And if you forge weapons with other attributes in the future, your understanding of other attributes may also increase. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 8. Really are. I'm looking forward to it more and more. Chapter 8 Hinata. Brother, hurry up. Teacher Kai has already arrived at the training ground. The Vitality Girl puts her hands on her hips every day. Smiling Mimi urged in Tian Yu's ear. Don't be proud of your best result in the last physical test. Shaoli and I will catch up with you soon. Understood. Tian Yu put the kuwu that he had created into the ring. Then I changed into my training clothes, followed Tian to go out and walked towards the Konoha training ground. On Tian Yu's right index finger, wearing a silver white ring. This is exactly the primary Na ring that he successfully created a month ago. After dripping his own blood on the ring, Tianyu signed a contract with the junior Neji and became the deed owner of the Neji. No one can open this ring except Tianyu. In the eyes of others, this is just an ordinary ring. After the contract is successful, Tianyu took the 3 kinds of kunai he created before, and the commonly used ninja tools such as shuriken and detonating charms. All of them are stuffed into the Na ring, in case of emergency. But Tianyu has only created this primary ring. One of the reasons is that this kind of primary Na ring is a 2-star weapon, and the forging power is extremely low. He also successfully forged a primary Na ring because of coincidence. The second reason is that one of the raw materials for making the Na ring, moonstone. The price is not expensive. But it is not a commonly used forging material. There is not much stock in Tianyu's house. After he tried to forge the Na ring several times and failed, he ran out of moonstones. It seems that if he wants to continue forging, he had to wait for his parents to finish their business from the Iron Country to bring them back. Brother, did you hear any strange noises? On the way to the Konoha training ground, Tian suddenly stopped and asked Tianyu. This way. Tianyu nodded. He also heard the strange sound and judged the direction. Let's go take a look. The enthusiastic citizen Tian immediately pulled Tianyu and walked in the direction of the voice. Soon, they both saw this scene. A short-haired little loli with pure white eyes, forced into a corner by a few 8 or 9-year-old bear children. With tears in his eyes, his whole head was buried in his chest, and he didn't say a word and didn't dare to resist. Look! Her eyes are really white. Monster, she must be a monster. Defeat this monster, we are the heroes of Konoha. Let's go together. While talking, these bear children, approaching the girl's corner. There is even one of them, who has raised his fist and is going to smash her body. Stop! Tian rushed out immediately, jumping into the midst of the crowd. With open arms in front of the girl. Righteously, he yelled at the group of bear children. You are not allowed to bully people. Otherwise you will all be finished today. Those little bear children were bluffed by Tian. Immediately react. Standing before them. But she is just a little girl who is not as big as them. The bear children around burst into laughter. Looking at Tian's eyes is like looking at an idiot. It's fucked. It's you who's fucked, right? Where is the wild girl from, dare to come out and meddle in her own business? I won't be finished. Tian snorted coldly, without the slightest fear in his eyes. He stretched out his hand directly and pointed at Tianyu behind the group of bear children. If you want to hit me, you have to beat my brother first. Tianyu. Sister, is this how you saw injustice and immediately drew your sword to help? The eyes of those bear children. They all followed the direction pointed by Tian and landed on Tianyu's body. Brothers, beat him. Several bear children waved their fists and rushed in the direction of Tianyu. Boring, who's interested in fighting with you boys here? Tianyu sneered. Immediately, a dark light flashed in his hand. The fingers of both hands are already full of shuriken. The shuriken shot out instantly. Whoosh whoosh. A few sounds of air being cut through sounded. The kunwu in his hand rubbed the cheeks, sleeves, and trousers of the little bear children, adding a few small scratches to their bodies. The strength of Tianyu is very well grasped. Only scratched their clothes and caused them minor bruises. This level is enough to deter these bear children and teach them a lesson. As predicted. The moment the shuriken is shot, those little bear children were frightened and stupid. One of the bear children. I suddenly felt a tingling in my cheek. Reaching out a hand to wipe, the bright red warm blood sticks to the finger. He exclaimed in shock. Blood! I'm bleeding. In this voice, with a fearful cry. The other bear children also discovered their wounds at this time, and screamed in fright. My arm is bleeding. Oh my God! Killing! Someone here is going to kill. Mom, save me! The sound of screaming and crying sounded one after another. Those bear children looked at Tianyu as if they were looking at a devil. They had already been frightened, and they each screamed and ran away. Every day at this time. Hinata, who was squatting in the corner, was pulled up. She smiled and said, "Don't be afraid. Those bad guys have been driven away by my brother. My name is Tian, what's your name?" "My name is Hinata. Hinata whispered, and then his eyes stayed on Tianyu. "He's my brother, his name is Tianyu, and he is very powerful," Tian explained enthusiastically. Thank you, Tianyu-jun. Hinata lowered her head, not daring to look directly at him with a guilty conscience. She only felt that the light on him was very dazzling. As powerful and handsome as a prince who fell from the sky. Even if she just glanced at it secretly, it would instantly make her heart beat faster. "Why are you here alone?" Tianyu asked. Such a soft voice. Hinata's heart moved slightly, then her head dropped lower, and Wei Noa said nervously and softly, I accidentally lost my way. Is it the family land of the Hyuga family? It's not far from here, so let's take you back first. Tianyu said after thinking for a while. Every day is a little surprised by the side. Huh. My brother is usually very afraid of trouble. Today, I actually took the initiative to say that I want to send this girl home. Couldn't my brother have a crush on this little girl from the Hinata clan? People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 9. And just as I thought about it every day. The next sentence Tianyu said almost made Tian suffer a big somersault and was stunned by Lei. Tianyu took out a kunai. Facing Hinata with a gentle smile, he said. My family owns a weapons shop. As a thank you, how about you buy one of my special kunai? It's very cheap, it only needs 1,000 taels. Chapter 9 Not her fault. Everyday petrochemical in place. Inner OS. Brother, I really misread you. What hero saves the beauty, and what has a good impression on other people's little girls? You clearly see that this little girl dresses well and comes from a big family, and you want to slaughter others fiercely. 1,000 taels to open your mouth. The price of 1,000 taels is enough for an ordinary person to live on for a month. This little girl is only 5 years old, how could she spend so much money at 1,000 taels? Do you think she is a princess? And the next second. Hinata's actions. Let Tian completely drop his jaw. Only 1,000 taels is enough. From the pocket of Xiao Hinata. Obediently took out 10 banknotes and presented them with both hands in the direction of Tianyu. Although she didn't know the use of suffering. But 1,000 taels is not much for Hinata's pocket money. If she can help Tianyu-jun, then she will be very happy. Her face was full of innocence. In a childish tone, he said. For example, if Tianyu-jun needs more. I still have. No need. Tianyu readily took the 1,000 tael bill from Hinata's hand. Then he put the avatar Kunwu in his hand into hers. Here, this is my special clone kunai. Although the price is a bit expensive, but this is a good value for money. As long as you inject chakra into it, you can know the mystery of this clone kunai. Although the function is not a supernatural power. But it's enough to let you avoid the bullying of the bear child just now. Although 1,000 taels is a lot. But what Tianyu gave was definitely a conscience price. If this kind of suffering is put outside, even if it is 2,000 taels, there will be a large number of people rushing to buy it. It's definitely a priceless good thing. It's just that Tianyu is unwilling to sell the things he built to irrelevant people at will, so he has not been in a hurry to complete the tasks issued by the system. I happened to meet Hinata this time. And she can afford the price, Tianyu is kind enough to sell it to her. Saying so. Tianyu and the others sent Hinata back to the Hyuga clan. Then, we'll send it here. Tianyu and Tian. Stand at the door of the Hinata clan and say goodbye to Hinata. Hinata little lowly bowed deeply respectfully. Said politely and sincerely. Thank you, Tian, and Tianyu-jun. Tian said with a straightforward smile. You're welcome, because we are friends. Goodbye, Hinata, next time we have a chance to play together. Hinata was stunned for a moment. Then he whispered softly. A friend? So this is a friend. It seems that it's not a bad thing to be lost today. Because she was very lucky to have two good friends, Tianyu-jun and Tian. That is really good. Hinata. At this time. A cold snort. The sweet smile on Hinata's face suddenly froze. Hinata's father is also the current patriarch of the Hinata clan. Walking in front of Hinata, with a serious expression, he reprimanded Hinata with a stern face. As an important heir to the clan, why did you act without authorization? How many people sacrificed themselves for you, for the Zong family? You should be more sensible, Hinata. Sorry. Hinata's head bowed again. His eyes dimmed immediately. Hey, uncle. At this moment, Tianyu, who had not gone far, turned around. He retorted towards Hyuga Hizu. It's not right for you to say that. Where is the kid from, dare to care about our Hyuga clan's affairs? Hyuga Hizu snorted coldly, ignoring Tianyu at all. Hinata quickly explained, Father, Lord Father, they are my friends. They were the ones who sent me back just now. Hyuga Hizu restrained her impatience and said, in the face of you sending my daughter back just now, then I won't hold you accountable for what happened just now. Tianyu did not appreciate it. Even in the face of an elite ninja like Hyuga Hizu. He was neither humble nor arrogant, and said sternly. Patriarch Hyuga, what I said just now is not wrong. Hinata was not at fault in this matter. Hyuga Hizu was a little annoyed in her heart. Glancing at him, his voice was cold and stern. What did you say? Tianyu did not flinch, and continued to speak righteously. The people of the Hinata clan sacrificed to protect Hinata. That's just because the people of your Hyuga clan are not strong enough. These mistakes. It's not Hinata's fault. Hinata suddenly widened her eyes. The whole person froze in place, and his heart fluctuated violently. She has been educated since she was a child, how to become a qualified heir of the clan. How many sacrifices of the clansman have been carried on his own body? This is the first time someone has told her. These faults were not caused by her and should not be borne by her. Although she is not sure if what Tianyujun said is right. But at this moment, she felt that someone finally understood that as the heir of the clan, the fear and anxiety she had been suppressing in her heart had been suppressed. Thank you, Tianyujun. Humph, he's just a hairy boy, what do you know? Hyuga Rizu shouted loudly. It may have been stabbed in the sore spot. Or maybe it's too lazy to argue with a 6-year-old. Hyuga Hizu took Hinata's hand, and walked towards the Hinata clan without looking back, ignoring Tianyu and Tian outside. Leaving the Hinata clan. Tianyu and Tian didn't take what happened just now. They are as usual. Go to the training ground and do physical training under the guidance of Mat K. In Tianyu's system. There was a sound of the task completion prompt. Ding! The Sell a Special Kunai quest has been completed. System reward, the blueprint of the primary grass pheasant sword has been distributed. People are in Konoha, you call this a ninja tool chapter 10. Grass pheasant sword. Tianyu was instantly refreshed. This can be regarded as a secondary artifact level weapon in the Naruto world. In the heart of Tianyu, there are 3 pheasant swords that have appeared in the Naruto world. These 3 swords. They are the empty swords in the hands of Orochimaru. The 10-fist sword in the hands of Uchiha Itachi. And Chidori blade in Uchihasa's assistant. Each of these 3 grass pheasant swords has quite unique functions. Orochimaru's empty sword is made of the hardest material in the world. It can be stretched from the small snake's mouth in its own mouth. It can be long or short, and it is extremely sharp. The 10-fist sword, which exists in the Uchiha clan's Hitomi Susanoo, can only be obtained through the Shirinyan Zujinji, and it has the ability to seal everything. The Chidori blade, with the addition of the thunderbolt, doubles its power and sharpness, increasing its lethality. The stabbed opponent will be paralyzed and unable to move. These 3 pheasant swords. Each sword is also very powerful. Although Tianyu's hand is only the blueprint of the primary grass pheasant sword. But he estimated that the power of the grass pheasant sword he created. It won't be too weak. Come home at night. Tianyu immediately turned on the system. Be prepared to absorb the contents of this primary grass pheasant sword blueprint. To this, Tianyu also attaches great importance to it. This is in addition to the kunai equipment. The first weapon he built with full combat capability in the true sense. This will add to his next combat power. has a vital role. Chapter 10 Grass Pheasant Sword. In Tian Yu's mind, the blueprint of the primary grass pheasant sword appeared. Primary grass pheasant sword. Forging difficulty ***. Required materials, Mojing crystal, goldwood sand, ruby, Balian star steel, heavenly red copper, Wujin stone. Skill, randomly enhance 1 to 3 chakra attributes. Another 2-star forging blueprint. The last time he forged the blueprint of the 2-star primary Neji, Jianyu learned something from the system. The weapons he forged with 2 stars and above all have the ability to recognize the master. After the forging is successful, just smear your own blood on this weapon. You can sign a contract with the weapon and become the owner of the weapon. And only the deed master holding the weapon can release the true power of this weapon. On the contrary, if these weapons fall into the hands of others, they are nothing more than ordinary objects. This is the biggest difference between 2-star weapons and ordinary weapons. With this contract in place, Tian Yu's heart is also a little more confident. In this way, even if he encounters an opponent who is stronger than himself in battle, and the weapon accidentally falls into the enemy's hands, he does not have to worry about it. The process of making this grass pheasant sword is really complicated. Tian Yu whispered in his heart. Although it is also a weapon of 2-star difficulty level. But the difficulty of making this grass pheasant sword is more complicated than the last ring he made. Even the materials needed. There are as many as 6. Among them, 2 kinds of ores, such as Tianqi copper and Jinshi, are quite expensive things. For a weight of only 100 grams, the price reached as much as 200,000 taels, which was worth the commission of a sea-level task in the village. Tian Yu scoured the shop in his own house, and finally collected these 6 kinds of ores. The combined price of these ores has exceeded 1 million taels. Tian Yu's heart was a little ashamed. It seems that being a blacksmith by yourself is still a very expensive industry. Fortunately, the family is relatively wealthy, and if it is only 1 million taels, it is still affordable. In the forge, in front of Tian Yu, there are 3 ingredients in total. In other words, Jianyu has only 3 chances to experiment in total. If he has not succeeded in making these 3 times, the construction of the grass pheasant sword can only be put on hold for the time being until his parents return from the Iron Country. Tian Yu closed his eyes. Concentrate all your spiritual power on the forging table in front of you. After combing through the whole process of forging the grass pheasant sword again in my mind, he opened his eyes suddenly. In the dark pupils, reflecting the red ore that has been burned by the flame in front of you, he injected a large amount of his chakra into the hammer, and clenched the hammer with both hands and struck it again and again. The whole process was unusually calm. Clang! Clang clang! A constant and regular sound came. Ding! Forging failed, forging result, ordinary long sword. Ding! Forging failed, forging result, ordinary long sword. Failed again. Tian Yu frowned and stopped the forging at hand. In 2 consecutive forgings, he encountered a bottleneck at a critical moment. The most difficult part of forging a grass pheasant sword is the fusion of the 2 ores of Tianqi copper and Jinshi. They need to be controlled at different temperature levels, but they need to be forged together at the same time, so that the 2 ores can be fused together. But the previous 2 times, every time Jianyu tried to fuse these 2 burning ores together, the 2 minerals will have a rejection reaction. Qi cracked into several pieces of debris. How could this be? Why can't the 2 ores be successfully merged? Tian Yu diligently recalled many details of his forging process just now, dragged his chin, and fell into contemplation for a while. Is there something wrong with his previous understanding? No, it shouldn't be. Every step of the forging process he did before. All are done in accordance with the steps in the drawings, without any mistakes. Is the drawing wrong? Tian Yu also quickly ruled out this idea. So, is there such a possibility? It was because of the wrong way of injecting his chakra that the 2 kinds of ores were mutually exclusive. I figured out a way. A little light suddenly flashed in Tian Yu's mind. Or if you try this method yourself, you can solve the problem you just had. Tian Yu looked at the last remaining forging material. If I failed this time, I wouldn't be able to create a primary grass pheasant sword recently. But hesitating is not Tian Yu's character. If you don't try it, how can you verify that what he just thought was right? Tian Yu re-entered his mind. After sorting out the whole forging process and ideas, my heart became more and more firm. Let's start. He took a deep breath. Pick up the hammer again and start forging. The same or after another was thrown into the forging table by Tian Yu one after another. After firing to the right temperature, it begins to fuse together continuously. During the whole process, Tian Yu's eyes were as calm as water, not disturbed. Only the hammer in his hand is constantly beating down the ore in front of him skillfully. But for 2 hours, Tian Yu has already completed the fusion of the first 4 ores. He took a deep breath. Do not dare to relax in the slightest in spirit.